Well, good morning. We saw a couple of you guys logged in from externally, and welcome and good morning. We're going to start out today just by doing a light recap of yesterday and just kind of going forward. Our goal today is to kind of be playing in the back-end accounting pieces, so kind of more up towards the top of the interactive map versus the bottom, which is kind of an operations. We're going to kind of be slightly filtering up towards the accounting side. And if you have any questions, please chime in through the chat window and or whatever. We'll kind of go from there. So to get started today, I've asked Shannon to see if she could kind of, Shannon, are you okay if I actually even have you come up here in the front and just kind of like, you can even pop into places or
Sure.
Whatever.
Sure. Joe is with us as well this morning, and he said that he's going to be here for the most of the day instead of popping in and out, so he's excited and he'll have plenty of questions for you.
Good, good. Joe, if you can use that chat window, we'll communicate with you, alrighty? And there are ways that we can even unmute you if you have a phone or a speaker on your computer or something. If you have a physical question and you'd like to be unmuted, let us know and we can do that as well, okay? So, Shannon, why don't you see if you can take us somewhere that we were playing yesterday?
Okay.
I'll let you just kind of play for a second.
Ooh, that's going to challenge my mind.
Alrighty. We'll just go to a single site and let you take over from there.
Oh, okay. Well, in Ambers, we've been using Ambers to do a lot of e-commerce, looking at e-commerce and putting our inventory out on the web. So that's mainly all I think we've really done with Ambers. Good morning, Mother.
Good morning.
Welcome. How are you?
Good. Some watermelon.
Great. Thank you. Glad you could make it. We're just recapping from yesterday. I almost don't even really know what to do here. Basically, we were just looking at
So Cheryl had some questions. She's
a
like,
lot of our web inventory from this site. That's basically what we did with this site, was e-commerce. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. She just wanted to kind of see, like, she has an herbal business and she wanted to see how can I put my stuff online. And so we're like, well, here's what you have. You basically have this site. You have some general pieces, and then as you go deeper and deeper, you can actually get into the clear to the e-commerce level.
So this is mainly where we were yesterday, is looking at e-commerce, various things. So looking at our DVDs, going through, adding it to the carts, changing that, making it so you could purchase it online or just so you could view it online, and changing settings there. So that's mainly what we did with this one, was just online web inventory type things. And that was more yesterday afternoon. We did that. Is there anything else you wanted to see specifically in Ambers, or?
Not necessarily. Basically, I kind of wanted to just kind of recap just a few of the little pieces we touched on yesterday. Now, in order to get back, you're technically way out. You're going to have to probably go up to your super back button.
Got it.
And go back to like, yeah, there you go. Now you're back in the secured environment.
Okay.
Just hit clear cart.
So Shannon and I we were talking about something going on the way home, because I wanted to be able to use elements of time for both personal but also for business.
Sure.
And so what we decided was I could make two templates. You know, I could use a regular calendar, but I could just say that I wanted to show the one template on the web. So that was the only one that came up with my business hours. So that worked.
Sure. And or people who have scheduled pieces of your time, like depending on what you want to show. That piece has not been done as far as like us creating it to the level of where it's all ready to push out. All of the pieces exist. All of the code exists. It's not been what's called customer exposed, like on the e-commerce level. But the code exists, and so that's where you have to start. Like you don't even want to expose anything outside until you have it solid and you know the flow. But that's where what's called the API, the application programming interface, you would have a programmer who could basically say, wow, I can talk to Adilas through these different functions, and I can even set my own website up, have my own domain name, but I can push and pull data from Adilas automatically, what's called consuming a function. So it's like, you almost make it like a smorgasbord. Here's all the things that Adilas can do, okay? And then you basically are able to kind of pull from the different pieces where you need it. That would take a programmer to interface with that, but
I'm excited you're going to have Adilas World so people can just go there and say, oh, I need a programmer who works with Adilas.
absolutely, absolutely. So that'll be fun. And that's Steve's kind of tackling that little project right now, but he's already gotten multiple people who are like, heck yeah, we're charging $47 to put up your profile. And so basically it's going to be another e-commerce level for us. We're going to actually do, hey, do you want to join the Adilas world? And we'll use e-commerce for Adilas and let them pay $47. We'll give them a login and account. They'll be able to upload their own stuff, create their own bios, place themselves in there, and what it'll do is we've actually got some cool pictures that we developed that are kind of professional related. So we're going to be creating our own little splash page. We're doing e-commerce, but we're selling people and people's time instead of books and DVDs and stuff like that. So it'll be really cool. It'll be really cool. So Steve's already on part of that, and we're going to be harnessing our customers portion, and instead of calling it customers, we're going to call it professionals. Okay? And then we're going to create categories, CPAs, bookkeepers, et cetera, that type of stuff. So
Cool. What's our number for?
Oh, it's on that pink Post-it note right there.
Yeah.
No, so that's great. And just maybe one other comment I had for you too, Mom, is it's not limited to 2. You could have essentially an unlimited amount of your templates or your different things, and then exactly like we're saying, you can pick the pieces once you get the flow that you do want others to see or use for your scheduling application. So we did a lot of our elements of time actually yesterday here in the big train. We were still using elements of time for looking at scheduling and setting up our weddings. So I think we had some in October. Pretty sure we had some in October. Yeah, so we had a wedding there in October, and we were linking it to customers, adding cards, going through our recipe that we had created the day before. So we were just kind of doing some elements of time, various things, and playing there. So we spent a little bit of time doing that, and then we actually spent a good amount of time as well in our new little school services. So seeing the cute little interface that Russell helped to create, and then playing around in that, and doing a lot with FlexGrid.
Yep, we wired that up. Go ahead and click on the little apple and the worm. And then just go ahead and say add core data for one of the students. Select. Just right now it's kind of temporary, like we just kind of put a small patch on it, but just to kind of show you the idea. What's the age? What's the core category?
I think I just did, what did I do? Creative arts, yeah.
So just go up to the top to creative arts and then just hit continue. So basically what it is this next page, the objectives, this is the piece that we kind of duct taped for right now, but just imagine that actually was relative to creative arts, because like literally it branches from those top 3 things. It categorizes. I have a 10-page document that I have to consolidate into that teeny little objectives thing with an if statement, kind of like if it's 4-year-olds and if it's creative arts and if it's this, then I need to do that. That's why it was broken into multiple steps.
Wow.
So this is just a temporary little duct tape. I had to show it last night to demo the teachers, and so no matter what you select on the front page, it would do that same 10 objectives right now, but I'm going to make that dynamic. I just didn't have time last night. That was after the training class. So.
Wow. So basically what you're saying is dependent upon every variable you put in, that changes all of your drop-downs or whatever you have to have on the second portion.
They literally have probably a 100-page book or manual, okay? We've consolidated it down, and we're going to make it this quick and easy to add their data.
That's so neat.
The other fun thing that they were asking last night is we were showing them how you could add this core data one by one, and they're like, oh my goodness, is there any way that we can do a little class thing, and then as soon as we're done with our little workshop or our little thing, that I can take data on 5 or 6 of them, whoever was in my little breakout section. And so it's amazing, and this was interesting, I recorded this in my notebook last night, but one of the things that people are interested in is once they learn how to get the flow, they always seem to want to multiply. Oh my goodness, can I do it even faster? Can I do it in bulk? Can I do it, like, we have to first build the tunnel, okay? Basically it's the bridge across the river, if you will, okay? Once the bridge exists, it's amazing how quickly people want to widen it and make that thing like a highway instead of just a little suspended bridge, if you will. You can get over there, but now they want to get over there quick and fast and potentially with the cavalry.
Yeah. No, that is interesting. That's
so
really
you can go ahead and even just whatever you want to do there. Notes aren't required, but you could just do whatever and then pop that in. So now if you scroll down, you just added a piece of FlexGrid, but right from a simple little 2-step process that's going to have conditional logic built into it. So that's going to be kind of fun.
That's neat. That's really great.
So anyway, we were just in there kind of playing around, and they actually, we have to wire it up because they want to have this thing by Friday. So
To start using?
Yeah.
What does that mean,
Wow.
add to lunch ticket?
Okay, you know what? Basically, they created some other, these are settings, okay? So right there where it says add to lunch ticket, if you clicked on it, it's technically a queue. Somebody was playing with a queue, okay?
Oh, okay.
And then they were just kind of doing like funny stuff. Like this was somebody else that was playing with this thing. Like we didn't even do it.
Okay.
But basically they took the customer queue, okay? So if you were to like go to the help file, it would say customer queue on this thing instead of
Okay.
add to a lunch ticket. I have no clue even who did that particular part of it, but they were just playing with some stuff and like adding some different little pieces into the pie. So basically it's a pork-wide setting, so that was just a flip-flop of changing the word customer queue into lunch ticket or something. I have no clue what they were doing, but they were having fun.
Okay, that is funny. That's great. So we did a lot with FlexGrid, and we had all sorts of different things that we added or new fields that we added. Maybe that would even be, let's see.
Yeah, jump
Show
in there
our
and kind of
custom
show some of
fields.
this. Yep, that'd be great.
So this is where we had all of our custom fields and then our sub-fields, which can just expand out and out and out. There's 15 possible main custom fields, but then as you see, they hold numbers of subs, which I think is amazing for just creating your own database on top of Adilas anyhow, and in all sorts of things. And each one has that capability. So FlexGrid was fun. We dealt with FlexGrid yesterday and elements of time and some web presence. Those are the main 3 things I probably remember from yesterday.
Great, great.
I think we did some clocking in and out. That was really short. Some other little things, just checking stuff out. I don't even know where all this goes. Grades in bulk. Yeah, so some neat things like that. Is there anything else you wanted?
No, just kind of wanted a little light review. And Cheryl, we'll ask you as well. And see if you can just kind of say me something that you thought about from yesterday. Thanks, Shannon.
Yes.
Pages.
What's that?
Pages, every time I come and find out that Adilas does something else, and then I go home and design pages that I want to put things into.
I think it's great that you start on paper. Paper is a wonderful tool. Paper, pencil, those are great tools, okay? And the more that you can harness the tools that are in the bag, that's what's going to be fun, okay? Actually, one of the things, can I mention this? Sometimes I've seen people that they start using Adilas and they're like, oh my goodness, I have to force it into this particular scenario, okay? Like yesterday we were talking about parent-teacher conferences. And we started adding in all these different little things. We didn't really know where we were going. We were just kind of playing. But in my mind, what I probably would have done is gone to Microsoft Excel, create a quick little thing and kind of put the little categories, and then start calling teachers or calling parents. Hey, when would work for you? You know, like do it on paper and pencil, and then if I wanted to transfer it into Atlas, then I could do it. But like sometimes that's a faster tool. It literally is, okay, and it may not even be that critical to the thing. It kind of almost depends on how critical is this particular connection, or how fast am I trying to do it. I write notebooks all the time, pen and paper. I have a little notepad right here next to me, like a bunch of little Post-it notes in case I needed some sort of paper. Matter of fact, usually when I'm using Atlas, I use paper. And when I do accounting, I actually do a lot of that, because sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm on deposit this, I need to go over here to this, and I have to know a number or a value that I'm going to transfer to some other place or connect it to it. So I use paper a lot, like scratch paper and stuff. So good, good, good. Cheryl, anything else that you thought was kind of fun, or?
Well, it's all fun. I got to come home and use it.
Perfect.